All right, welcome back to Forging the Fires podcast. I'm your host, Fireman Rob. Today I have a special guest, Jerome. Jerome, you are an icon. That's what I've heard. I want you to go through and just tell me, what does bull riding mean to you? And then I want to get back into your story, but what does bull riding mean to you?
I don't know. It's pretty much, it's all I ever done, really. I mean, I grew up as a kid wanting to be a bull rider, and I was fortunate enough to make a living out of it. And, today being able to coach and haul bulls to the events, and I just, my life pretty much wraps around it. Me and my wife, it's pretty much all we get done, really.
Now you talked about you were doing it when you were younger. Tell me more about that. Tell me how did it start in the blood? Because that's not something that's normal for people.
Well, when I was a kid, I just my dad said when we'd go to the rodeo, during the bull riding, I would just get really quiet and I would just stare and watch the bull riding.
Yeah.
And I can't never not remember wanting to be a bull rider. It's just something that was always in me. And what happened I was riding horses to a sale barn in North Carolina when I was 11 years old, and I'd get on anything, to ride them through that sale barn. They'd pay me like $5, and I'd get worked out pretty good. Well, they had a junior rodeo that weekend, and the guy needed some bareback riders for the bucking horses. And
all right.
And I told him, I said, I tell you what, I want to ride bulls. He said, well, if you'll get on bucking horses Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll get you in the bull riding. I said, done deal. So I got on 3 bucking horses that Sunday. At the end of the deal there, I got to get on a bull, and it lasted all of 2 seconds probably. And
that's 2 seconds longer than most people would ever even imagine. Now, you said $5?
Yeah, well, we was riding them through the horse sale, so most of them was broke, but
okay,
a lot of them wouldn't be,
That's amazing. So now you transition that and kind of get to this coaching realm. And tell me more about how that feels to be kind of transitioning into that coaching realm and helping these future yous figure out that passion that you had.
Well, I mean, it is different. I mean, I grew up riding bulls, and when the whole coaching thing, they come to me about it. Sean Gleason was the first one that approached me about the idea and the whole team series and, coaching a team. And I told him I'd be in. I'd done some bull riding schools, and I really enjoy the sport. And but it has been a learning process. There's no doubt about it.
So, are you like a Mike Ditka, or are you like a like a softer like a Don Shula?
I don't know really how to approach that, but I just at the end of the day, we're trying to get them bulls rode and win some games. So,
what is the passion that you have for the sport? How do you translate that into the youth, into the next generation?
Well, I mean, they either got it or they don't. You know what I mean? This bull riding game, I don't try to push it on anybody. It's so dangerous. I've had buddies of mine get killed, and it's tough. And I don't if they don't have that passion and the want to, I don't get behind them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to really have it, and if they've got it, then. I'll help them, and I'll try to make them as good as I can. But if they don't have it, I don't push them down that trail.
Talk to me about how you've gotten through your challenges and struggles, and from bull riding and then into life. How do you continue to keep pushing forward? Because it doesn't seem like anything slows you down.
Well, I don't know. It's back in the day when we was rodeoing for a living and riding bulls, and you just had to have that mindset. So when I got hurt back in '98. And got put in the wheelchair, that same mindset gets me going every day and staying motivated and keep moving, and if I stay motivated and keep moving and stay on progress, it works, and I enjoy doing the coaching right now. I've got so much going on. It's hard for me to even think about being in this chair, really. I mean, we between hauling the bulls up and down the road and coaching the team and then putting on the events that we do at our place, along with hauling bulls to these futurities for the 2-year-olds. So we got a lot going on, so it's all good.
Talk to me more about the bulls, because I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand that the superstardom that these bulls have and how much of athletes they are. Talk to me more about the bulls that you have.
Yeah, so the bulls are something that me and my dad started back in '86, and it was really just for me to have some practice bulls to get on.
Yeah.
And then when I met Tiff and her dad and them had a rodeo company, so before long we was taking her cows and bringing them back to my bulls. That was back in like 94, 93, 94, and here we are 2024 and we're still at it. But
that's crazy.
We got some bulls. We had 3 out last night. We got 1 out tonight. Hope we'll get some over at AT&T Stadium, during the weekend.
That's unbelievable. Now, if you could offer some advice to those future kids that are wanting to be bull riders, or just somebody that's sitting out there going, my challenges and struggles are too much for me to handle, what would you say to those people?
You just got to be motivated. Stay motivated, keep moving forward. To me, it's just, it is what it is. You just, whatever it is, adapt and overcome and just move forward. So, I think if anything, for any kids that's starting off rodeo, and any advice I can give them, don't be scared to ask questions. I was hard-headed back in the day, and I never did really ask for help, and I learned the hard way. But looking back now, I feel like my career could have been a lot even more than what it was if I would have reached out, instead of just watching them. Don't be scared to pull on the shirt tail a little bit and say, hey, I'm having trouble with this or that. Instead, it'd take me 18, 15 bulls later, and I figured it out. But it sticks that way. Let me put it that way.
That's solid advice, because a lot of people are so scared to ask that question because they don't want to be that person that, oh, well, that person doesn't know. Let's not give them a chance. Do you think that's a little different now that you're coaching too?
Oh, yeah, I do. Now that the coaching deal, I've learned how I can help some of these kids and see them get better. It makes a difference, and so, yeah, that's kind of where I get that from. I feel like, if I would have had a coach of somewhat back in the day, I never went to a bull riding school my whole career. But, I thought, well, dang, looking back now, I probably would have went to every bull riding school I could have found. But instead, I would just sit and watch videos and try to make it work. But yeah, find some. There's a lot of good schools out there. Find the right ones, and don't be scared to ask questions.
I love that. You know what? Thank you so much for taking the time today, and also for continuing to inspire that next generation. It needs it. That's definitely sure.
Oh, you bet. You guys check us out at JeromeDavis.com. You can see all the good stuff we got going on, and thanks for letting us be on here.
Love it. Thank you again.
Thanks again.